All right, welcome and good morning or good evening to all of you joining us today. My name is Laurent. I'm part of the 4D marketing team. Today, I'm especially happy to welcome Mathieu Ferry, head of product at 4D. He's going to walk us through a live coding session using AI in 4D 21. Now, if you have been following what's happening in tech lately, you have probably heard the term vibe coding. This concept of building applications faster with AI acting as your coding partner. That's exactly what today's webinar is about. What is interesting here is that 4D, after 40 years of empowering developers, is fully embracing this new way of working. With 4021 on its AI features, you will see how you can combine the strengths and reliability of an established platform with the speed of creation of a modern AI-assisted development to add AI features to your business application. During this session, you will see practical examples you can immediately apply to your own projects. Whether you're looking to add features faster, modernize or refactor existing application, rethink how you design and enhance your forms and workflows. Session will last about 60 minutes, depending on your questions. Before we get started, as usual, few housekeeping notes. I'm good, so that's it for me. I now hand over to Mathieu that will share with you some insights before starting the demo.
Okay, thank you, Laurent. So a few comments before starting this session. What you're about to see next is a vibe coding session I recorded approximately 2 months ago. So the story behind, if you joined the latest 4D21 webinar, you probably remember the application I demonstrated, the one converting emails to actionable tasks using AI. So, well, to be honest, I was short on time to build such demo. So I decided to vibe code it entirely. And I found the experience to be quite interesting. So what I did at the time was to start it all over again, but this time I recorded the whole session to share it with you today. For those of you who already practiced vibe coding with 4D or with any other stack, here is a small disclaimer. I do not make use of skills here, only what we call instruction. You will see what are instructions later on. So it does not change the coding experience much, and we'll probably issue another webinar focused on skills in the near future. Also, this session starts very slowly. I'm very careful at the beginning, asking only AI very simple things. So don't get bored because this goes crescendo and it's on purpose. Little by little, I use more and more complex prompts in this session. One last word before starting. The session you're about to see is totally uncut. I left all the errors, all the steps, everything so that you can get a real and precise idea of what it feels like to code with an AI agent and 4D21. So we can start, I guess.
Okay, thank you, Matthew, for this introduction, very useful introduction. And as you said, let's jump directly to the demo.
Hi everyone. Today I want to share with you a coding session with AI and 4D21. We'll be building a new application project from scratch, and we will use AI to build this project, to build the database, its structure, its data, and the forms and the feature. My objective is to build some kind of automatic task manager using AI for a travel agency. So this travel agency has an inbox mail. They receive a lot of emails on a daily basis. And what I want to do is for each email to automatically scan it and create a task corresponding to the email, if necessary, to the corresponding and to the adequate person from the adequate department in the company. Okay, so let's try to build this. I will start with a creation of a new project here, and it will be for the demo travel agency. So I have here a totally empty project. I will add a project dependency because I know I will be using AI for this. So I will add for the AI kit in my dependencies, and I restart my app, okay, my project. That's it. So this project is totally empty, and I will open it using VS Code because we will be using Copilot for this. So let's get here, and it's this one. Let's go. Okay, so as you see, this is a totally empty project. There are no sources, nothing. You have an empty catalog and so on. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is to create a, no, not in there, sorry. I'm going in there and I will create, I close this and that, and I will create a .github folder. And inside this folder, I'll create an instructions folder. All right. I will copy a set of files that I already have here. Okay. These instructions are based on my coding style, my coding habits, my best practice. So I can share them with you online later on. I don't know if they will be relevant for your use cases. The best is for you to build your own instruction files for GitHub Copilot. But let's say it's another topic. Okay, so I have these instruction files, and now we'll start working with GitHub Copilot. So you use this small button here, and a way to know if those instructions are properly known by the agent is to just ask it. So what are your coding standards? Okay, I will ask them. And you see that it will directly here be aware of those instructions. All right, so they are good. Okay, let's close this. All right. Probably during this demo, maybe I will speed up some phases to avoid you a too long waiting time. Okay. All right. So let's continue. What I'm going to do now will be to start to build my app. And in my travel agency, I have some employees, so I will ask the AI to create me a table in the catalog listing employees with their names and first names. Just like that. Interesting. All right. So as you can see, the catalog file was edited. All right. And now what I can do would be to open here the structure and restart my project. All right, you see, I have now an employee table. Great. And if I check here, this ID is properly, it's a UUID and an automatic one. Perfect. So I have my employee table. I will now continue. I have, as I said, I want to have departments in my travel agency. So I will ask here to create a new table in the catalog listing companies department. I will always allow this. It will be simpler. Perfect. Okay, let's skip the changes and here restart. And I have here a department table with a name field. Great. Okay, let's continue. Now the funny part. Of course, I want here employees to be related to department. So each employee should have a department. So let's ask Copilot to add a relation between both. And let's see what it gives. Sometimes that part is a little bit complicated, but we'll see what it gives. All right. Okay. Let's skip that. And now let's restart. All right, you see, I now have a relation between both name, department, and employees. Great, perfect. Okay, we'll continue. I want now to have a department manager. Okay, so maybe we will refine that. So I want a manager for each department. The manager is an employee. So add a manager relation from the department table to the employee table. So you see, I'm not coding, I'm not designing anything, and I'm just expressing myself with prompts to work on this app. All right, let's see if it worked well. Yeah, you see, now I have here a manager ID field. Okay, and you see it's correct. Perfect. That's really, really nice. All right. Well, there's no index here. We could improve that by asking, adding indexes, but that's not the point for the moment. All right. Now I would like to have some data. So I will ask the AI to build some kind of initialization data. Okay, so I prepared a prompt here. I ask it to write a for the method that will initialize the data in both of these tables. I ask it to generate two JSON files in the resources folder, one for employees and the other for departments. It will write the for the method, loading those JSON files into the database. I ask it to use from collection to import data. I prefer that. We'll check the documentation if needed. And I ask it to just be careful here that, of course, it will first load employees, then it will load department. So the IDs will be generated automatically when importing from collection. And for the relations, it will probably need a second pass. So I try to explain it a little bit how it should proceed just to be faster. But probably we will need to refine a little bit the algorithm here. We'll see how it gets with this. So you see it goes and check the documentation. That's interesting. And we'll see what it brings. So here it will start coding. So here we will see in the sources here what it gets. We will have probably a method appearing here in a few moments. So now I have here 5 departments: engineering, marketing, HR, finance, and sales. maybe we can refine that later on. And it created 10 employees here. So we can check if they are here. Yes, they are in the resources directory. Now I see here a temporary ID, but it's a little bit, I will see what it gives here. All right. Probably there's something to be improved in here. We'll keep that. And perhaps we can just check here how it will be loaded. Okay. It's using the file here. So you see, as I'm using the 4D analyzer extension here, I have all the code coloring I need in here. So let's do this. What we could do would be also to open this code here, and well, I propose you just to run this code and just see what it gives. All right. Oh, there's an error here. So of course we will have to help it a little bit. And what I'm going to do here for this kind of error, I will just copy here the error and we'll abort. And I will just paste, I have this error. So I'm showing you the real stuff here. This is how I work. So when there are some errors on executing the code, I just paste the error to the Copilot. And it's a typical error it makes. We're using from collection, it expects a status instead of an entity selection. So it will fix the problem by itself. Perhaps the documentation is not clear enough about this. Who knows? All right. So according to Copilot, the issue seems to be fixed now, so we will load that and run it again. Oh, you see, it says that I have 5 departments and 10 employees that are loaded. So what I propose you now is to go into the Data Explorer here, and we will have a look. I have some data, and I have employees and department. Let's check if here I have the manager, so the relations are correct. So it's I think a very good first result. Okay, let's close this. Perhaps we could refine a little bit the loading data, because I don't really like here the departments that I have. So I can ask it to, I'd like different departments. So I will list those departments. It's for a travel agency. So now I tell it what I'm working for only now. So department should be, I would like a sales and after sales, marketing, of course, HR, yes, finance, okay, IT, I'd like a legal department as well. Okay, update the import files accordingly. I hope it will also update the employees on top of the others. Okay. I'm really not challenging what it does exactly, if it's efficient or not. Of course, this is not for going to production. It's to build a, let's say, a demo app quickly, a proof of concept, and so on. So, all right. So here I have these results. Apparently, it took into account the employees. So perfect. And what I will do now is to execute again this. Okay, 7 departments, 14 employees. Perfect. Let's check it in the Data Explorer. So now I have sales, after sales, marketing, HR, finance, IT, and legal. Perfect. I have a manager for each of them. That's so great. All right. Okay. So I have my employees and I have my departments. Perfect. So now I will ask it to create the task table. So as you remember, I want to assign tasks to all of these employees. So let's go here. I wanted to create a tasks table. Each task has a description, an assignee, which is an employee, a status, and for the moment the status will be just a string, and a due date. All right. So the catalog file was edited. Okay, it's finished. So I have here, for each task I have description, an assignee, status, and a due date. All right, and it took care of the relation by itself. I didn't ask specifically to add a relation. It guessed that by itself. So let's go here and restart here the project. All right, you see the tasks now are there. I have department, employees, and task. Great. Okay, let's continue this journey. I forgot something. I would like on the tasks to have a summary. You see, I have here a description. The description will be a big field, so I would like to have a summary to the task table. So you see, I ask it add a summary field to this table, but it remembers that we were talking about the task table. So by itself, it will just add a summary field here. All right. So here, I restart. And that's it. I have my summary field in the task. All right. Let's now generate a few tasks here. And of course, don't forget to assign each task to an employee. So here, I'm very generic. You see, little by little, I'm getting confident. So I just ask it to generate around 10 tasks in the initialize data script. Okay, so I don't ask it specifically I'm not too precise, I mean. So let's continue. So it will add a tasks.json file. It's here. And it will edit the initializing script. So I didn't even look at the code in there. I'm just trusting the agent for the moment. Perhaps I will review this code later on. Okay, these are the tasks that are created. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So let's keep it. And here, let's just have a look. There's no errors apparently in there. All right, so let's run that. And now I have departments, employees, and 10 tasks. Okay, we'll control that in the Data Explorer. Do I have tasks? Yeah. This is so great. Okay, and let's just control if there's an employee, last name and first name, and that's perfect. Okay, so glad it worked. All right. Okay, we will continue this. And now that I have a couple of data, I will now try to get some 4D form. Okay, so let's add here. Let's create a 4D form that will list tasks. Okay, I just want to review the task list. So I want a list box on the left side of the form, listing tasks with summary, assignee, last name, the assignee department, the due date, and the status. And I want a detailed view on the right side showing all these information plus the department manager and the task description. Don't forget to associate this form to a form class. So this is a coding habit that I repeat here just in case, but I think it would not be necessary because it's already in my instruction files. But I want to use a form class. You see, what's interesting is that by itself, it went to read the instruction files, the proper instruction files. And in there, I specifically point to the form schema.json. So this will avoid errors. It's working. It's creating here the form folders. So for the moment it's empty, but it will come. I'm confident. All right, it's finished. So we will discover what it made here. So now I go here in my forms and I have here a form task. All right, it's not a bad thing. See, I can try to run it and oh, so nice. I have here a proper form. There's a little bit of here errors. Maybe we can fix them, but it's already some kind of very good result. So I have here a problem. It's not showing the current entity information. I guess it's because here the fields are not mapped. Okay, probably here this one is mapped, but here it's not. So let's just give it this information. So here I copy, just give it a screenshot of the form. I paste it here in the context, and here there's a problem. Tasks details are not visible when selecting a task. And it did something. Okay, I don't know exactly what it did. Let's keep this and go back here. It seems to be much better now. And okay, it's good, very good, very good, very good. All right, I have here a due date, but I think there's something I forgot. I forgot a creation date. Okay, it works. So I forgot to tell you to add a creation date for tasks. So please add it in the catalog. Update the import files accordingly, and of course the task form, I want to have the task creation date in the list box and the details. Yes, let's go like that. So here I'm asking it to add an attribute in the catalog, update some import files, and perhaps the code. I don't think the code will have to be updated, not sure. And to update also the form. So 3 things here. So you see that with time you get more and more confident with the agent. You tend to understand what it's capable of or what will be a problem. All right, so there's a creation date here now. I'm gonna close here those files, don't need them. So catalog was edited, the tasks here, the form gets edited as well. Oh, and you see, maybe I can take this opportunity here to check that here I have here a form class. So I have here some errors. Maybe we can review them later on, but for the moment, let's leave them that way. Okay. So it seems to be over. Let's validate everything. Open now. So here I now have, we'll see that by running it. I have here the creation date. Let's run that. And okay, I haven't run the import script, but I have here the column. It's okay. Okay, let's run here the import script and run that again. Oh, created is still wrong. Interesting. Interesting, of course. It's a funny thing. I don't know what it did. Probably here, let's go in the Data Explorer. So the due date is correct, but apparently I'm missing the creation date here. It's not in the data. Yeah, that's why I guess there was a problem here. Let's open the structure. Oh, maybe I should restart. No, the creation date. It's in there. It's in there now. Okay, maybe that was the problem. Let's try to run this again, and probably it was the problem. Yeah, you see I have now the creation date. It's null. Okay, let's run that again and run it again here. It's still null. What I'm going to do is just to give it here the screenshots and just to show that creation dates are not imported, and perhaps it's a problem in the file. I don't know. I don't want to lose too much time. So creation dates are null in the database after import. Oh, can you check? Can be a problem because as I didn't write the code, I don't really know where to look to update that. So, but here, okay, apparently it did the trick. It was in there. So let's go there. Let's run that again. And let's check. Now let's just run the form. And it's better here. You see now I have the creation date. And it's in there. Perfect. All right. Now I think that the form is a little bit ugly. We'll try to be a little bit creative. So it's a task list, in fact. So I will ask a nice design for task list. And we'll try to find an image, and we'll try to find here maybe whatever. Yes, task list and details, maybe something that will fit a little bit what we want to do. Okay, let's take this one. So let's copy this image here, and let's use it here as a reference. Can you make the task form more beautiful? Get inspiration from the file attached. So this is a little bit of a creative way of working. I don't know what will be the results here. We'll see that. We'll see what it can do. Okay. So it will try to do some clean white light background, status color badges. I don't know if it will manage to do so. Card-based detail panel and better typography and spacing. Okay, we'll see what it gives. Okay, it seems to be over. I honestly don't know what was done here. But apparently lots of things, so we'll see the results here. Okay, it seems a lot nicer. Very, very different. And what happens now? Okay, I have now much, yes, we can say it's much nicer than the previous version. Okay, you can discuss the design if you like it or not, but I think it's much more beautiful, of course. All right. All right. So I'm finished with this task panel, task 4, and I'm now quite confident with the agent. So I prepared here a much bigger prompt to do all the rest. I don't want to bother with implementing an emailing mechanism for the moment. So I want to implement the complete AI feature right now. So I'm asking it to use for the AI kit. Let's imagine so that this application, let's imagine, I will fix the typos here, is for a travel agency. I already said so I don't need. This application is for travel agency. I wanted to demonstrate how I can, when receiving an email, analyze it through AI and directly generate a task if needed, because not all emails are relevant for a task creation. And this task should go to the correct department. So I don't want to implement an email sync feature, so we'll mimic it by creating an email table, so with a sender, subject, body, reception date. You will create a quick form where I can visualize the emails in a list box. Each email has a status, pending or processed. This status tells us that an automatic task creation processed the email or not. On the email screen, you add a button to process an email through AI. Pressing the button sends the email to a model that replies with a task to create in our system. So use for the AI kit for this with OpenAI. Let's put it that way. OpenAI for now. You can check for the AI kit documentation here, so I'll help it a little bit for the documentation and code sample. For the API key, because OpenAI of course works with an API key, I ask it to store and load it from a simple JSON file within the resources folder. Okay, so it's a much more complex prompt than what I did earlier. Let's see what it can do with this. I'm asking a lot here. So it starts by checking AIKit documentation. And it created, it's quite funny, it created some to-do list here. I don't know if we can have it somewhere. Okay. So it's starting by adding the email table to the catalog and create the necessary files. It's quite funny because it's creating here by itself some sample emails in a JSON file. So step 2/7. So I should here get here, yeah, here it created some sample emails. Okay, so the initialization data script is finished. It's creating now the form. Oh, the form is getting prepared here. Maybe we can have a look at it just by curiosity. No, it's still not there. We see that. Oh, the form. Yes, it's the form class for the moment. All right. Oh, it's here right now. Okay. It's making a button. The API key JSON file, it's here. Okay. I will open it here on another screen and I will paste my API key. All right. I ask it to continue. We're getting to an end. It's great. Okay. So before testing, replace your OpenAI keys. I will do so. I will hide that, of course. Okay, I will place my OpenAI key in this file. That's done. And maybe let's just open this form email. Oh, it's a different coloring, but you see that it tried to, let's say, apply the same styling as before. If I run that, of course, I have nothing here. I will see that later on. Oh, trace. There's a problem here. Abort. All right. Let's restart because there were changes in the structure. So here you see that I have now an email table properly created. Maybe what we could have done would have been to let's say, add a link between the email and the tasks, but let's forget it for now. We will run the import data. Okay, so now I have 5 emails. Let's check in the Data Explorer here if I have my emails. Yes, emails are here. Perfect. And I have each time the body, which is here. Okay. So now let's test the email form. Okay, it's correct. And so I can here check here the email body. All right. So I suppose here that the processing of the email is here, but yeah, there's a text problem here. Probably the color of this button is not right, the text color. So perhaps here we can just set it to black and it will be better. Yeah. See what's nice? Okay, you generate the app with AI, but of course you can fine-tune that later on. Okay, let's have a tour of the code that was generated behind that button. Okay, I'm not very happy because I would have preferred this code to get inside the form class, but okay, let's forget that for the moment. And okay, so here I can do this, and I will open here the task screen on the side, and we're going to see if it's working properly. So let's put that aside. Okay, I have my screen. So here I have my pending email. So Sophie Bernard, it's probably here something for sales, I guess. Okay, it's someone asking for a travel. So okay, I'm crossing fingers. I will check if this is working. Ah, hey, I have an error. Okay, so as always, maybe I'm doing the dumb guy and just copy this and putting that in here. Okay, pressing the AI button, I get this error. Okay, I didn't even had look at the code that was generated for now. Maybe I will do this later on. Okay, it's asking me to try the AI button again. So let's do so. I abort, I close this, and for safety, I will open the form again here, and let's try it again. Okay, so here, oh, it's strange. I lost something. Okay, we will try it again. So it's processed here. So we will see if I have here a task created today. So yeah. I don't have a refresh button here. I could ask it to add a refresh button. So I have here 10 tasks. So let's open it again. And now I have 11 tasks. I think it was created today. It's this one. Yeah. So you see, it's Sophie Martin, the assignee. So Sophie Martin is probably the head of the sales department. The due date is for 23rd. It was guessed by the AI. In here, it was so created today. It's an honeymoon package inquiry for Maldives, and it's exactly what I get here. Okay. So I'm really, for the moment, quite happy about what it did. That's so great. Let's refine all this, and let's just do a couple of things. So getting back here, please add a refresh button on the email form, on both the email form and the task form. Do this like that for the moment. All right, so let's keep it and let's see what it gives. So here I have here this refresh button here now, and probably here on the email as well. Perfect. So if I run that, okay, and if I run this one, all right. So this will help me determine, better locate the new task. So what I have here, it's an email from Air France. Okay. Let's process it. Okay, the task is created here, assigned to after sales. That's great. I would like to keep that. If I switch from an email to another, it will be lost. It's a shame. I guess we could put it somewhere, but okay, not a big deal. Okay, so now if I refresh it, I have now 12 tasks. All right, and let's find it. It's this one. Okay, it's for after sales. So there's a booking updated and the customer should be warned, in fact. Okay, that's so great. I guess this is perfect. All right, there's still maybe a little bit of bugs. AI processing results here. It would be nice to get it somewhere, but let's forget about it. That's it. I guess I have my features. I have this automatic task creation based on the email. I could, of course, create some kind of background task doing this automatically. There are ways of improvement in there, but I think you get the point. I could implement this application like that. I almost coded nothing. Of course, I could have a look here in the sources here to see, because probably maybe there are some errors, maybe there are some things that could be improved, but that's it. If you need to quickly build a proof of concept for a customer of yours, if you need to quickly build something, honestly, that's perfect. I don't know how much time I took. Maybe this was a matter of an hour to build a rather complex app using AI itself. So I think it's great. Let's maybe check group booking request for Rome trip here. Allez, let's try that last one for the road. And that's it, created for sales here. And here, this one, partnership proposal, I think it should go to marketing. Probably this kind of email should go to the marketing. Oh, it went to sales. Okay, no problem. We'll see. Maybe it's something we can fine tune later on. All right, here I update and I have now more tasks. Okay.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for this great demo. Honestly, it was very impressive for me. So I hope that you all enjoyed these sessions and got a real sense on how AI and a bit of that vibe coding spirit can transform the way you develop with 4D. Before we jump into your question, just a quick update. If you miss any of our previous webinars, you would find them all on our YouTube channel. I'm dropping the link in the chat. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. All right, so let's move on to your questions. And before going to the Q&A, we can start with one question that has been asked in the chat. Is it possible, Matthew, to use AI in binary?
Hey, no, not the way I did, at least. No, everything that I show here is only possible with a project mode. It's by nature. I mean, binary is binary, and LLMs, models, agents, they work with text. So I think it's been quite some time that at 4D we try to convince all our customers that are still in binary mode to switch to project mode. It's only benefits, and AI is just one of those benefits, among others. So no, AI or vibe coding is only possible with project mode. Maybe we can switch to other questions because we have a lot of questions, a lot of very relevant comments. The first question, first remark was that about the approach I used here. Another approach could, of course, have been I could have prompted right from the beginning the whole application specification, the whole things describing tables, the model, all the screens, and everything, and just use another feature of Copilot, which is the plan feature. So instead of the agent, I could have used the plan mode and work with the AI before starting coding with some kind of plan. And it would have given probably a very similar result. It would have been much faster, but it would have been less educational for today. But there are different ways of using AI. If you start to work like that, you will see that there's a lot of different ways to use it. So yeah, of course, I could have just pasted the whole application specification, and in one prompt, I would have obtained the whole thing. But in the end, you always end up discussing with the agent because you always forget something. You always in this demo, for example, I forgot lots of things at the beginning. The refresh button, for example, the creation date, and so on. So you always forget something. So in the end, you always end up interacting with the agent. Another question: do I pay a subscription to use Claude Opus or Sonnet? So in the demo, I use Claude Opus. So to be totally transparent, here the subscription is not on the model, it's on the Copilot directly. So you pay for Copilot, and then you can use a lot of different models, Opus, Sonnet, or OpenAI, GPT, and so on. The subscription is only on Copilot. It's not very expensive, to my opinion. And so today it's not a webinar about Microsoft price model, but basically you have a bunch of premium requests, what they call premium requests, that are included in your monthly fee. And when you go over it, you start to pay, I think it's 4 cents per premium request, what they call premium request. A non-premium request is free. So I don't know exactly how they differentiate that. Very simple things, I think they are free, and more elaborate things are what they call premium requests. Okay, can we write the prompts in French? Yes, of course, oui, bien sûr. So today you understand that this session was in English because it's a little bit of work to dub this all over again in French, but I could have done exactly the same thing in French. We'll probably anyway share this on YouTube with subtitles, with French subtitles, if you want to replay it and better understand it. But anyway, all the demo, all the prompts, you can work in French. It's no difference. What do we have next? We have lots of questions here. So a question. No, this I answered. So some people, regarding the models, you will see that you can use different models. You can use Opus, you can use Sonnet, you can use GPT, and so on. I personally like Opus. It's the most expensive one. But in my teams, some people prefer Sonnet. I think it's a matter of taste. It's a matter maybe of what you prompted. But I like Opus. A lot of question about getting the instructions of the skills I used in this demo. They are already available in GitHub. I shared them a few weeks ago. So the link was pasted in the chat. Thank you. Probably when we'll share the replay with you by email, we'll share with you the instructions. About that, so this webinar was not about how to build instructions or how to build skills. It's a science by itself. You could perfectly start without any instruction. And in such case, there's a small button in GitHub Copilot. So if you load your code base, your project, you can ask AI to build instructions for you. And perhaps will it be closer to your way of developing? It will analyze your forms, your code, and it will mimic your coding style. So my instructions are mostly based on my way of working, and perhaps it does not match yours. So it's a matter of taste. So please use my instructions if you want. My instructions are already a mix of instructions built by other people for the teams. I added a few things by myself. And when you see the agent doing things that you don't like, feel free to ask it to update your instructions with what you saw. Often, if I see a recurring error or a bad practice, I solve the problem with the agent. And when the problem is solved, what I say is that, okay, we've learned a lesson here. Please update the instructions accordingly. So next time you won't do the error. Do the instruction files affect any AI-generated code for the web application? For example, will it affect the syntax when generating JS code within the web folder? So here, it's an interesting point. By experience, I don't think so. I don't think it affects web code or JS code. If you remember, in a previous webinar, I demonstrated an application with a chat, with a web area, and inside this web area, a representation of a conversation with AI. And this web area was totally vibe coded within for the project itself. So by experience, I saw that at least Opus or Pilot, I don't know, is perfectly capable of mixing different technologies, different stacks in the same project. So perhaps you can also build instructions for the code, the JS code or the web code that you use, but even without instruction, it was working properly. And the agent was generating the 4D code, managing this web area, managing also the HTML within it. And it generated me in the same project, JS code and 4D code perfectly. So perhaps it can be improved, but at least on my side, I saw that it was working properly. So this is it. How much is the Copilot subscription? I said so. Please check it on your side. I honestly, it's the company subscribing for me, so I don't know exactly. For me, it's free, in fact. Of course, you can use Claude directly without Copilot. It's a different experience. I honestly really like GitHub Copilot. It's very efficient, but there are other coding agents in the air. So the experience will be sometimes very similar, sometimes different. GitHub instructions already answered. Could we get the database that was generated here? So honestly, I wondered that. I don't know if it's really interesting for you to get an hand on on this demo app. In fact, I have two demo apps. I have the one I showed you in for the 21 webinar, which is a little bit different from this one, because this one I redid it and it took me an hour. So if you have 1 hour of time, you just redo what I just did and you will get a slightly different result, but very similar results. I don't know if you notice, I haven't given a single look at the code it generated. So I don't know if it's perfect. For sure, it's not my code. I don't know if it's best practices everywhere. It would maybe require a code review, maybe with AI, but I'm not sure it's really relevant for me, for you to get an end on this database. The only thing, I mean, it could be useful for you to analyze or to make an opinion for you to if the code generated is good or not for you. But it's a 50-60 minute vibe coding session, results only. So we'll see. Maybe if there's a lot of people asking for it, maybe we'll share it. But I don't know if it's really relevant. But what you can see is that if you need to implement something using a new concept for you, using, I don't know, HTTP handlers for the AI kit or for the net kit, probably it's interesting for you to use AI first to produce you a first feature. Then you can see very quickly something working. And when you are exploring some new stuff, it's very interesting to use AI to do so. This is more or less the point here of this demo also. Another comment, AI is also very good at generating documentation and unit tests. That's true. I only had 1 hour for this morning, but later on you can generate the README, you can generate your build and deploy chain, your unit tests, and so on. So you can generate comments in your code, generate documents or documentation outside your code. You can translate them, lots of stuff like that. You can also, it's very good at refactoring as well. So every boring stuff that you don't like to do, it can at least help you. Maybe not do everything without errors, without mistake, but it will be of great help. And I think it makes you as a developer really focus on what matters. I mean, it's the business, the feature. It will do all the hard stuff behind, all the boring stuff. So that's why I really like it. And I think for the developers, I've always been like really versatile people. I mean, you know your business and you know coding. And honestly, it's of great use for you. And you're not only technical persons, you're not only just coders. And I like that, and I like AI for that. Excellent demo. I've been using Claude Cowork feature in the Claude Native app on Mac. Okay, how does it work compared to Copilot within VS Code? I don't know. I don't use Claude Cowork. You see, there's a lot of coding agents out there, and I cannot use all of them. So sorry, I cannot tell you if it's better or not. I'm just discovering the questions. So someone is getting scared at the end of the craft work by real humans. I understand that I have many issues with all administrative stuff and no more human are there to read emails, assign tasks, and I even have a subscription. To advocate or it becomes IT for dummy. Yeah, this is beyond this webinar. All of this can be a little bit scary. My my opinion, I'm an optimistic guy. I think that this gives you muscles. It's like an electric bike. You know how to bike, and the electric bike makes everything really easier. But you still need to know how to ride a bicycle, and this stuff is not for dummies. You need to know what's behind. You need to be a senior. If you don't know, you will do bad things. And at the end of the day, AI is not responsible um, for blackout in production. AI won't go to jail if some unwanted data is published online. AI is not getting fired if there's a problem. So this is not this is magic, but not so much. At the end of the day, it's still someone who's getting responsibilities. So you need to be very careful with this. What's sure is that it can make you work faster, much faster. Okay, someone here is using anti-gravity. Is it a good idea too? I think it's a good idea. Anti-gravity is based on the same foundations than VS Code, so it should be very, very, very similar. Very similar. It's just another agent. Fast food programming. Yeah, why not? Yeah. It depends. We'll see. I mean, maybe some of you participated to the 4D methods we did. I think it was a year ago, a little bit less. We demonstrated some first AI interactions, and it was way, way, way less efficient than today. So who knows where we will be in 1 or 2 years? What I'm convinced is that you must jump in this train. Otherwise, your competitors, they will work faster, they will deliver features faster. So I think it's something people need to be aware of and use, just because if not, others will do. I have an old 4D application with many forms that I want to update. Could I use AI features to rebuild the forms and screens automatically without recording everything? Honestly, I would try, and I would love doing such stuff. I would love giving AI instructions or the task to redo things. It depends on what you want to do, exactly what you want to update. If it's only a redesign, if you want to really refactor everything, but I think it's worth the try. I would love to do so. Is the code generated all on both GitHub and your local Mac? It's the code is generated locally only here. If you want to put it on GitHub, you need to push and commit and push. But everything is local here. The code generated is generated locally. Can you use a local model to avoid sharing the code with an external AI? Here, I don't think so. It's maybe there's something I don't know, but the models are online here. How well can AI? Lots of questions. Sorry, it's a marathon. How well can AI analyze an existing large database and improve the code presentation, commented, documented? What is the size of the context with the code opus? I don't know the size of the context. You see, maybe if you rewatch this session, you see that sometimes GitHub Copilot is compressing the conversation to preserve its window context size. So once in a while, you will see it making a quick pause and summarizing what you said. So the window size is handled automatically. How well can it do so? I mean, it depends on your on your code base, I guess. I would just try and see what it's capable of. Just try it. I honestly, uh, I am often amazed by what it can do. So who knows? Can I use AI to help with upgrade to current 4D version? I'm pretty sure it can. I'm pretty sure it can. See what I did. Just upgrade. Depends if you want to upgrade from binary to project. Perhaps it can eliminate the warnings or the errors. But if you give it a log, you give it like I did, an error in text, or also just give it a screenshot. And describe a little bit the screenshot and your problem. You may have surprising results. Is the generated code by AI is compilable without errors? Pretty sure it can be, at least. If you have compilation errors, just give it to the model. It will solve them. At least it will try to solve them. And if you have recurring stuff, put that in your instructions. If at the end of the day AI is not capable of solving your problem, solve it yourself and put that in your skills or instructions. At the end, someone says that it's only a tool that we have to use smartly. I agree with this. And if you let it do the job without control, it's a bet. I agree. And the person says it would not take this bet, but I don't know. I'm an optimistic guy and probably would take the bet. Yeah. There's a lot of other things in the chat. So I don't know, Laurent, if you had the time to take a look at the chat. There's a lot of things. I
Yes,
don't know if we still
I
have time.
did. And I think we are only missing one question that is, do you use an MCP that points to
Ah,
40 documentation or generic instruction? Did you prepare specific instruction for the
voilà.
demo?
Interesting question. There's no MCP involved here for 4D. This is something we are thinking of. But here there's no MCP for 4D involved. These are only generic instructions. Did I prepare specific instructions for the demo? The answer is no. I always reuse the same instructions for all application I build with 4D. So I always try to have my instructions generic enough to absorb anything I could ask the agent. So I have not prepared something specific for the travel agency in the instructions. So the instructions I used in this demo are the exact same instructions that I shared on GitHub. And I used those same instructions to build, if you were in for the 21 webinar, if you remember the real estate demo that I did, it was also vibe coded. So it's a totally different application where I use also AI, but with a local model. But to build this application, I used the same instructions than here for the email and task thing.
So thank you, Mathieu. Thank you very to have taken the time to go through all questions, and that's what makes this event so precious. Thank you to all of you for joining us today. As you leave the session, a short survey will pop up in your browser. It only takes a minute, and your feedback will help us improve these webinars. And anyway, if you have more questions or want to continue the discussion, feel free to join us on Discuss. And I know that Mathieu will be more than happy to follow up with you there. We have had an incredible wide audience today. We were from all over the world: Europe, Africa, Philippines, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, just to name a few of the continents and countries we are connected from. Thank you again. Have a great day, a good evening, and see you for our next live event presenting 4021 R2 and R3 new features. Goodbye.
And goodbye and thank you, everyone. Thank you.